Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Norah is off tonight. I'm Margaret Brennan. We're going to begin with that jobs report landed with a thud today at the White House. Many forecasters had predicted a jobs gain of about 475,000 for September. Instead, the U.S. economy only created 194,000 jobs. Still, the unemployment rate did fall to under 5%, but that was partly because many Americans simply stopped looking for work. President Biden blamed the pandemic for the sluggish growth and said hiring will pick up if Congress passes his infrastructure and spending bills. Today's report also revealed some troubling trends, including job losses in fields that you wouldn't expect, and questions about why many positions are going unfilled at a time when so many Americans are still out of work. CBS's Nancy Cordes leads off our coverage tonight from the White House. Good evening to you, Nancy.
Good evening, Margaret. This was the second straight month of disappointing jobs numbers and a big slowdown from the first half of the year. The White House is pointing to the Delta variant as the prime culprit amid concerns that some Americans have now left the workforce for good.
September may be back to school month, but it's not back to work. According to the latest figures, the economy added 300,000 fewer jobs than expected, the most meager gain since last December.
I thought that this was a really disappointing report. It was anemic. And
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Overall, the big issue here is that we are not done with this virus. It is infecting people, and it is also infecting the economy.
The problem isn't a lack of jobs, it's a lack of candidates. The latest figures show there are 1.5 jobs available for every unemployed American, the largest gap ever recorded.
Why do you think there are so many people who are still reluctant to re-enter the workforce?
People are still fearful of COVID and what it will be like in workplaces and ensuring their own safety. There are still challenges as it relates to child care, elder care.
The fast food chain Raising Cane's is deploying half its corporate staff to cook and sell chicken fingers instead.
We could clearly use about 10,000 more crew members.
A.J. Kumaran is co-CEO.
We have about 150 restaurants that cannot fully function, meaning they have hours reduced or a sales channel reduced, all of it, because we're not fully staffed.
The White House looked for good news in today's report. The unemployment rate among Black Americans fell by nearly a full percentage point. But that's partly because so many Black women have left the workforce altogether.
I'd like to see it faster.
President Biden noted that the jobs numbers released today were gathered in mid-September, when the number of new daily COVID cases was 60% higher than it is now.
Jobs up, wages up, unemployment down. That's progress.
But he is likely now to fall short of the 7 million new jobs he promised at the start of the year. In the healthcare sector alone, Margaret, employment levels are still down by about 500,000 people since the start of the pandemic.
Nancy Cordes at the White House tonight.